Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now Saturday, April, what is it, the 6th, at a little past noon. I haven't done any updates all week. I've just been really busy, so let's see if we can get you caught up. The tomatoes are doing tremendously. Last count, I had over 30 tomatoes on this plant, so I'm happy. I'm just kind of waiting for them to actually get big enough to eat. The big planter is doing nicely. As you can kind of see, we've got quite a bit of growth in here. The lettuce that I planted last weekend seems to have taken nicely. I actually need to trim it back a little bit. I'll enjoy consuming that. The experiment is doing nicely, although it's only the one sprout, so I did say that if nothing popped by the weekend that I would fertilize it, and today is fertilizer day for this and other things, so we'll try that and see what happens. You got the melon patch. You can see the plants are getting bigger, but it's mostly the lemon drop that is getting bigger. There's not a whole lot over on the what was this one over here? I don't even remember. Canary melon. Not much over there. I don't know if the birds are getting to it or if it just didn't grow. I'll sort of pan across and let you see some of the other developments. We did finally get something to pop over here. We got the cucumber. We got one little plant there. The chard's not getting much bigger, but I have another chard over in the big planter, so I'm not too worried about it. The broccoli is drying out. Well, there's no more real leaves near the top there, no flowers, and I just have the beans, so I'll let them keep going for a bit. You can see the radishes and carrots are doing nicely, although still nothing in the back really. I probably should plant a few more seeds. Just kind of panning along, you can see the rest of the developments. Actually, it looks like a snapdragon. I need to deadhead it a bit. These two plants, the two nasturtiums, I have a feeling they did get flowers on them this week, which looks nice, but I think I'm going to be transplanting them elsewhere. So we'll see about that, and I'll tell you more in a minute. Kind of panning back, not a whole lot more to see. I did take the bird feeder and put it back in kind of the old location there. I haven't moved it back onto my own patio because I got something else going on. And the birds have found it, and so they're happy. And that's pretty much it for inside on the patio. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, so starting over here, we've got the lilies. They're doing okay. They're drying up a bit. I didn't water anything yesterday, I don't think, so. But like I said, it's fertilizer day, liquid fertilizer, so they'll get watered. I have pulled down the 3 planters that were hanging up along here, although you can see one's still hanging there, but that one's much more accessible where it is. I don't have to get up on a ladder. Ultimately, I'm going to deal with transplanting those into the green planters, and that's pretty much it for this side of the courtyard. These nasturtiums are looking a little worse for wear, although I did just notice the planter on the far end, or one of the planters, has got flowers again. So the fertilizer seems to have helped last week, and I'll give it more fertilizer today, and along with the watering. I haven't done anything with the planters over on this side. Not exactly sure how much I'm going to get to today. I got a bunch sort of planned. We'll see what I can get to. And over in the north courtyard, we've got the nasturtium, which is really looking worse for wear. Again, needs some water, but we'll do some fertilizer too, and we'll see if it bounces back. If not, I've got a few of them around. Oh, that reminds me, the nasturtiums I was looking at on my patio, I'm looking at when I do the transplant over by the in the courtyard on the south end. That's probably, I'm going to take those and transplant them into those 2 planters that don't have anything growing in them right now. So that'll give them some interest and make a little bit more room on my patio. So that's this stuff over here. We've still got a bunch of plants over here. And we got one nasturtium that's just going completely crazy, which I like, but I don't like it trailing along the ground so much, so I may try and figure out how to stake it and water everything. Moving on, I think that's it for the general update, and depending on how much I get done today, I'll give you an update when things are done. Okay folks, so it's taken me most of the afternoon. It's now it took me a few hours. It's a little past 4. You can see that the tomato is wilting badly, but I just watered it. I'm trying to sort of harden it off and let it go a little bit more than 1 day per watering. But at last count, which I just did, there's at least 35 tomatoes on that sucker, so I'm quite happy. Watered everything in here. You pretty much saw the update about what's going on around here. I took the 2 nasturtiums out over there, and let me show you what I did with them. Oh, before I do that, let me show you the experiment I have now fertilized. So we'll see how that plays into it. At least it was equally fertilized. Okay, so we've got the 2 hanging planters hanging now over here. Those both have lilies in them. And I've replaced the planters on this side of the building. This one had the 1 remaining 4 o'clock, which I've transplanted. Kind of wound it around there. I had to kind of untangle it and then retangle it, if that makes any sense. But that's up there. And over here, we've got nasturtium. Some nice color up there. Maybe should I turn it more towards the sun here? Well, at least I hope that's towards the sun. I'm going to have to watch that and figure it out. And then another nasturtium up over here. And those are all the planters that I've replaced. I've fertilized pretty much anything else that we have. So that's it for today. Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now, let's see, April the 9th, Tuesday, at about a little before 3:30. Yesterday we had a lot of wind, and I actually came home at one point. I've been running around the complex and just walked back and looked out the sliding glass door, saw my tomato plant was falling over. That scared me. But it looks like what happened was it didn't have quite enough support. We had a lot of wind yesterday, and the wind just kind of weakened it or something like that. So I threw in another cross brace up here. Well, you can see, let's see, I mean, we've got the main cross brace right down here. We got another one a little bit higher up there. Sorry about the sun. Just trying to show that to you, that it's so it's supported. There's like 35 plus tomatoes on here, so I guess it's kind of to be expected. The plant would have to be really strong to support that many tomatoes. So I'm going to have to figure out either a better caging system, put a traditional cage, I don't know. Over in the big planter, one of the spinach plants fell over. Apologies, I'm tired again. So the spinach kind of fell over a bit. But it looks like it's still alive. I'm just watering them and hoping that they'll perk up. We'll see what happens with that. The rest of it, no major changes. I will say that out in the courtyard, I don't know how well you can see the table out there. There is a table that has an umbrella, and it has a base that's supposed to secure the umbrella. Well, the umbrella managed to work its way up and over the table and fall over, knocking over all the chairs, but not the table, interestingly enough. So I have to kind of wonder if maybe somebody was goofing around and playing with the lock mechanism on the bottom. But either way, everything is still intact. I just need to put it all back together after the wind calms down, and they're saying there might be a little more wind tonight, so I'm going to leave that alone. I haven't refilled the bird feeder, so I think that's the sound of the birds wondering where the food is. So I'll probably get that tomorrow morning, and you'll hear a lot of birds. That's it for today, I think. Not a lot of major changes. There's one other change, but I'll show that to you tomorrow. Alright, until next time. Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now, let's see, the 10th? Yes, it's the 10th. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if I did an update today, actually. Boy, I must be more tired than I thought. At least I'm a little more cheery now. It's a little past 3 o'clock, and you can see the tomato plant. And actually, I can see some color on some of those tomatoes. Way too early, but they're supposed to be bigger tomatoes, but I guess I'll take what I can get. If they end up looking like cherries and tasting like bigger ones, hey. Just want to kind of give you some updates of what else is going on around here. We had the wind. It looks like the plants are kind of bouncing back from that. I've been trying to figure out some watering issues. I think I'm kind of getting that locked down. Just kind of give you a pan around here to see what things look like. And that's pretty much the patio. Most of the developments are outside. So let's continue over here for a change instead of in front of the office. A couple of things I've been promising myself I would do, and I finally got to them today. The two big plants, there was one in this planter here. Oh, sorry about that. It was like an orchid tree or something like that. I've forgotten exactly what they told me it was supposed to be, but all it ever was green. I never got any flowers. And it's supposed to be a really slow growing tree, but it was turning all brown. So I pulled it out of here and stuck it in its own pot. I did a little bit of kind of moving stuff around here. The other thing was the Nandina that was sitting here has now also been transplanted to its own pot, and I'll show you that in a moment. But let's go up the alleyway. Actually, what I meant to say was let's go up the tunnel. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Whoa! Okay, I changed some of the plants here. There were a couple of elephant ears growing in one little section that was not actually controlled by the landscapers, and so we don't really want too many elephant ears, but I decided if we're going to keep them, let's put them in pots. That should work. So here they are. They don't really require a whole lot of sun, I don't think. So hopefully this will fill in this area under the stairs a little bit better. Let's see what else we got. Back in the north courtyard, we got up here we've got this nasturtium, which is just not doing well. I'm continuing to water. We'll see if it bounces back at all. Don't know what this plant is called here, but it's still doing nicely. It looks like it's kind of a succulent of some sort. If I swing back around, you can see what we've got over here. I've still got some plants to figure out what to do with, but another one of the nasturtiums, which was kind of crawling across and going that way, is now going up a bamboo pole. So hopefully that'll allow it to catch a little more sun and do a little bit better. And those of you that have been watching for a while may remember this is the stairway where I had the zinnia, the super tall zinnia growing, and then I just realized I actually have some seeds left over from that, so I might try and plant those sometime soon and see what happens. That should be it for over here. And let's call this scene Elephants Gone Wild. That's what happens when you let them just continue to grow. Let me actually pick this up here and show you what the base of that looks like. You can see how thick it's getting down there. At least I hope you can see it. So that's that. Let me show you something else. Not sure if I covered this already, but I've transplanted the plants in 3 of the hanging planters on this side of the building. So that makes it a little bit more consistent on the planters. And what we've got growing here is we got a couple of nasturtiums. Those were, now I think I have told you, but these were on my patio before. Actually can't really see the flower on that one. Get a better view of flower on that one. And then let me actually try and pan down here and show you. That's the Nandina. I have now transplanted it to its own pot, so there's nothing else interfering. My landscapers told me about some vitamins. I'm trying those vitamins. If they work out, I'll get more. We swing back around. Try not to make you too dizzy. And we'll take a look over here, if you can ignore the blue bucket. And we've got, that's the other plant, that's the orchid tree. So that's now in its own planter, along with some of those same vitamins. So we'll see how much that helps. I think that's it for today. Let's see what else develops in the next 48 hours. Alright, until next. Good afternoon, gardening friends. I've got a little bit of a different view here, but I keep wanting to show you the seeds from the nasturtium plant. And so these are the ones that I've actually harvested. Didn't have time to shoot stills of them, but there's 4 of them there. You can kind of see how it gets buried. Well, maybe I can try and get it up a little closer for you. You can see the stem from the flower there. And if I turn it over, that's actually kind of a double seed there. They don't usually get quite that big. Let's see if we can, oh, there's actually 2 seeds there. Let me see. Well, basically that's what the seeds look like, and my thinking here was I'm rebuilding the nursery a bit. So this first pot, the first 2 pots here and here both have commercial nasturtium seeds, Cherry Rose Jewel, 5 each. And the third one actually has nothing in it right now, so my thinking was I wanted to try these green seeds and actually plant them and see if they'll actually grow from a green seed. I may also have another seed on the plant that I can show you. I'll check that out in a minute. But if nothing else, I wanted to document what I'm doing with the nursery here. And actually, let me go mobile here. I had 2 other pots that I planted today. Sorry about the hose there. I'm going to put that away soon. But there's a pot down there. There's another one over there. And they both have those basil seeds that somebody gave me that I just hadn't had a chance to get to. So I'm finally getting to some of this stuff, and that's what's in those 2 pots. These 2 pots are actually a little bit smaller than the ones up in the nursery, and they're in shade right now, but they'll get sun at some point in the day. And I'm going to throw some fertilizer on all of this, so we'll see what comes of it. We'll check back in a week or so. Okay, so here's the seed in its native sort of form, still attached to the plant and growing, and I'm going to see if I can't get you a still of this. Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now April 12th at about 1:45 in the afternoon. I want to give you another update, and you can actually see some color on the tomatoes. Although, I don't know how well you can see, there's one that's kind of turning there. But the ones that are turning are a lot smaller than I expected. These are supposed to be, I think, a little bit bigger. Anyway, kind of interesting development. The lettuce has just gone completely crazy here. And I need to look up this spinach here. This is spinach, right? Yeah, that's a spinach. I'm thinking that it looks like this one's kind of going to flower, but actually the leaves don't taste all that bad. So what I may do is cut off some of the intermediate flowers, leave the ones towards the top there. Because it looks to me like where the flowers are shooting off, it's not creating any more leaves, and it's probably just soaking up energy. So I'm going to do that, try and get a little trimming done today. If you look back there, you can see the Malabar spinach is starting to climb, assuming that's the Malabar. It is turning a little bit red at the bottom there. I've just got to let it grow, I guess, and hope it's not actually a weed. The experiment really isn't doing a whole lot more. There's just that one bean that popped. I have given it some fertilizer. Not much going on, so I may quit the time-lapse because it really just isn't showing anything. Just kind of panning across, I'll show you the rest of what's going on the patio. We do have a nice flower on this nasturtium here. Just some small sprouts and what have you. I will say that the snapdragons are looking a little sick, so maybe I'll try and harvest some of the seeds off of those and plant some more. So that's it for on the patio. And so just to give you sort of a general update on this side, not a whole lot different from yesterday or a couple of days ago when I transplanted that one bush over there. The lilies are doing okay. They're not burnt out yet. That's that area. Let me come over here and show you. This is actually looking kind of sickly, I think, because it's not getting enough sun. That was a 4 o'clock, so I may have to transplant that soon. Everything else is about the same, so I'm figuring it doesn't really deserve too much time. There is a flower up there. That looks nice. And let's see what we got. Out in front of the office, we've got this really interesting flower. It is a nasturtium. It's just interesting colors. I think that's probably supposed to be a cherry rose jewel that just kind of got washed out by the sun. That's it for here. Now that I think of it, there's not really a whole lot of change since yesterday's update, so I think I'll break it off here, and this may well be the end of the episode. So until the next episode, take care.